Hi everybody. In our last session we discussed about electric field intensities and potentials, which is the first chapter for our first unit. In this session I would like to teach about the second chapter, which is dielectrics. Okay, we already learned about these dielectric materials in our lower classes. So we just recollect what are dielectric materials. Dielectric materials are the substances which do not contain free electrons. To constitute electric current, or the number of such free electrons is too low to constitute electric current, then the materials are said to be simply dielectric materials. We know in conductors they have free electrons to constitute electric current, while in case of insulators there is no free electrons to constitute electric current. Hence, dielectric materials are nothing but insulators. In dielectric also there is no free electrons to constitute electric current. Hence, dielectric materials are nothing but insulators. In dielectric materials, here the electrons are tightly bound to nucleus. In dielectric materials, the electrons are tightly bound to nucleus. Hence, there is no free electrons. And hence, dielectric materials, there is no free electrons to constitute electric current. Okay, the examples for dielectric materials are nothing but mica, plastic, glass, etc. are the example for dielectric materials. We observe these materials, there is no free electrons to constitute electric current. Faraday first realized about these dielectric materials. He realized the importance of dielectric materials. He observed, he placed a dielectric slab between two parallel plate capacitors. He considered a parallel plate capacitor and placed dielectric slab in between these two plates. Then he observed the capacity of this parallel plate capacitor increases with this dielectric material than without dielectric material. Hence, he concluded dielectric materials have very wide application in electrical phenomenon. So, dielectric materials, whenever they placed in capacitors, then it increases the capacity of the condenser. So, we just recollect what are dielectric materials. In our syllabus, we have atomic view of dielectrics and polarizability of dielectrics, and dielectric constant, and dielectric susceptibility, and about boundary conditions. First, I would like to start this atomic view of dielectrics. For this, we know atom consists of equal magnitudes of both positive and negative charges. We know atom consists of equal amount of both positive and negative charges in equal magnitudes. Let us, all the positive charge is concentrated at a single point, then it is simply said to be the center of gravity of positive charge. In a similar manner, if all the negative charge is concentrated at a single point, then it is said to be center of gravity of negative charge. Then, if the two centers of gravity in a molecule are coincide, the molecules are said to be non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules. What are non-polar molecules? When the two centers of gravity are coincides, the molecules are said to be non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules have symmetrical structure. These non-polar molecules have symmetrical structure. Symmetrical means mirror image of one another. It means our left hand is mirror image to right hand, then they are said to be symmetrical. In this manner, these molecules have symmetrical structure. Non-polar molecules have symmetrical structure and they have zero dipole moment. Here, dipole moment means in physics, in a molecule, the positive and negative charges are separated, then polarizability. It means their polarizability is said to be its dipole moment. Here, in non-polar molecules, they have zero dipole moment. Here, we are saying about what are non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules means when the two centers of gravity are coincide, the molecules are said to be non-polar molecules. In the similar manner, about polar molecules. So, when the two centers of gravity do not coincide, the molecules are simply said to be polar molecules. While in case of non-polar molecules, the two centers of gravity are coincide. In case of polar molecules, the two centers of gravity do not coincide. It means they are slightly displaced with each other, then the molecules are said to be polar molecules. These polar molecules have unsymmetrical structure. And they have permanent dipole moment. They have unsymmetrical structure and permanent dipole moment. Just we go for the examples for these polar and non-polar molecules. Non-polar dielectrics and polar dielectrics. The examples for non-polar dielectrics is nothing but H2, N2, O2, benzene and CO2, etc. And the examples for polar dielectrics is nothing but NH3, H2O, etc. Here the examples for non-polar dielectrics is H2, N2, O2, benzene, CO2, etc. For polar dielectrics, the examples are NH3, H2O, CO, and etc. Okay, the structures for non-polar dielectrics is, we saying they have symmetrical structure. If we take CO2 molecule, it has the structure as C, oxygen, oxygen, here the dipole moment for this oxygen molecule is nothing but we consider as P1, and for this oxygen, second oxygen molecule as P2, then the resultant dipole moment for this CO2 is nothing but P is equal to P1 difference P2, because the dipole moment for first oxygen is in this direction and for second oxygen is in opposite direction, then automatically the resultant dipole moment for this CO2 molecule is P1 difference P2, it means 0. So the dipole moment for non-polar dielectrics is nothing but 0. While we take the structure for water molecule, nothing but H2O. Here the oxygen molecule bonding with the hydrogen molecule, ions, then the structure is like this. Here the dipole moment for this oxygen molecule is nothing but, then the resultant is P is equal to P1 plus P2. Here the dipole moment is adding. It means they have permanent dipole moment in polar dielectrics. In non-polar dielectrics they have 0 dipole moment. These are the examples for non-polar dielectrics and polar dielectrics. Okay, when we place these dielectric materials, it means non-polar dielectrics and polar dielectrics in electric field, what are the behavior for these materials in electric field we discuss. Non-polar dielectrics in an electric field. Here our topic is non-polar dielectrics in an electric field. The dielectrics which are polarized only when they are placed in an electric field are said to be non-polar dielectrics. The dielectrics which are polarized only when they are placed in an electric field are said to be non-polar dielectrics. Here, for understanding this, we consider a dielectric slab material in between the plates of a capacitor. Here, capacitor always one plate is positively charged and another plate is negatively charged. In dielectric materials, the positive and negative charges are randomly distributed in this manner, as shown in the first diagram. A, the dielectrics are randomly distributed. We consider this dielectric slab is placed between the plates of a capacitor, then the charges are reoriented. Here the positive charges and negative charges are separated by applying this electric field. By applying this electric field, it means here the plates of a capacitor are charged, then the charges in this dielectric material are reoriented. Here the negative charges are pulled towards the positive plate of the capacitor and positive charges are pulled towards the negative plate of the capacitor. In this manner, hence the dielectric material is said to be polarized by applying field. This dielectric material is said to be polarized. Hence, the dielectrics which are polarized only when they are placed in an electric field is said to be non-polar dielectrics. Here, by this appliement of electric field, the dielectric slab becomes, here the negative charges are pulled towards positive plate and positive charges are pulled towards the negative plate of, then the induced charges are nothing but creates electric field which is said to be E dash, and the applied field is said to be E naught. Hence the resultant electric field by this arrangement as E equal to E naught minus E dash. This is the electric field produced by this slab placing between two charged metal plates of the capacitor. Non-polar dielectric means non-polar dielectrics are polarized only when they are placed in an electric field are said to be non-polar dielectric substances. For understanding this, we consider a dielectric slab. In dielectric slab, the positive and negative charges are randomly distributed like shown in figure A. In figure B, here we giving charge to these plates of this condenser and we placing this dielectric slab in between these two plates. Hence here field is given, then the atom is separated. It means here positive charges are pulled towards the negative plate of the capacitor and negative charges are pulled towards the positive plate of the capacitor. Hence here electric field is induced by the surface charges. Hence the surface charges creates the field is said to be E dash, and electric field by this applying is E naught. Therefore the resultant electric field acting upon this dielectric atoms is equal to E naught minus E dash. Is about non-polar dielectrics behavior when they are placed in an electric field. We go for the next, polar dielectrics when they are placed in an electric field. We know polar dielectrics have permanent dipole moment. Hence these molecules are placed in an electric field. Here the molecules alignment only takes place because they have permanent dipole moment. Due to their permanent dipole moment, the molecules are always move in randomly manner. Here the molecules are always move in randomly nature. Hence whenever they placed in electric field, they are tend to field direction because there is always a thermal agitation between these molecules. Hence the alignment increases with the increase of electric field. Hence by considering in this first diagram, the molecules are nothing but randomly distributed manner. Whenever they placed in an electric field, here the molecules are aligned to field direction because of their permanent dipole moment. By increasing this electric field, the alignment increases or decreases with the temperature. So whenever we place these polar and non-polar dielectrics in an electric field, here non-polar dielectrics they become induced dipoles, and polar dielectrics they tend to field direction when they are placed in an electric field. I hope you are following the behavior of these both non-polar and polar dielectric substances when they are placed in an electric field. We go for the next topic, which is dielectric polarization. We know in dielectric atoms the nucleus is tightly bound and the electrons are also tightly bound to the nucleus. In alignment of these positive charge and the negative charges in first diagram, here the negative charges are bound to the nucleus. There is no free electrons. Here there is no free electrons. Whenever they placed in an electric field, it means this dielectric slab is placed in an electric field, it means this dielectric slab is placed between two charged metal plates of a capacitor. Here we know capacitor, one plate is positively charged and another plate is negatively charged. Here the positive charge of the dielectric atom is pulled towards the negative plate and negative charges are pulled towards the positive plate of the capacitor by observing this second diagram. Here, by placing this dielectric slab between a capacitor, here the positive charge of the nucleus is pulled towards the negative plate of the capacitor and negative charges are pulled towards the positive plate of the capacitor. Hence, there is force acting to this dielectric material. Hence, they are said to be polarized. The inducement of dipoles takes place. Here, we know that dipole having dipole moment. Here, the dipole moment per unit volume is said to be dielectric polarization. Here, the distorted atom is said to be an electric dipole. The dielectric dipole moment per unit volume is said to be dielectric polarization. Okay, we go for the next topic, which is relation between three electric vectors. This relation between three electric vectors is nothing but D, E, P relation. So, for explaining this DAP relation, first we write down about the definitions for D, E and P. We know what is E. E means electric intensity. The electric intensity is said to be the force experienced by a unit positive charge placed in an electric field is said to be electric field intensity, and it is indicating with the letter E. Okay, the next definition is P. Here P means electric polarization. Electric polarization means the distorted atom is said to be an electric dipole. Here the force acted upon by this dielectric atom, then it is said to be distorted atom. The electric dipole moment per unit volume is said to be dielectric polarization, and it is indicating with the letter P. And next D. D is said to be electric displacement. Here electric displacement is indicating with the letter D. Here electric displacement at any point is the product of the field strength and permittivity of the medium is said to be electric displacement, and it is indicating with the letter E. Here the field strength and permittivity of the medium is its product is said to be electric displacement, and it is indicating with the letter D. If we consider the medium as dielectric medium, then we can write D equivalent to K epsilon naught E. The units for electric displacement is coulomb per meter. Here the electric displacement which is nothing but surface charge density of the materials. I hope you recollect the definitions for electric field intensity and electric polarization and also electric displacement. Then we go for the relation between these three electric vectors as For this, we consider a dielectric material which is placed in an parallel plate capacitor. We know capacitor always one plate is positively charged and another plate is negatively charged. Here the charge on the capacitor plates is considered as Q and the electric field is E. Here we placing the dielectric slab in between these two plates of the capacitor. So due to external field applying, there is always a charge separation, hence there induces negative charges towards the positive plate of the capacitor and positive charges towards the negative plate of the capacitor. Hence the induced charge is said to be Q dash and the induced electric field is said to be E dash. These are the considerations for calculating the relation between these three electric vectors. First we consider a dielectric slab and it placed in between two parallel plate capacitor metal plates. Here one plate is positively charged and another plate is negatively charged. Whenever we place this dielectric material between these capacitor plates, here the negative charge induces nearer the positively charged plate and positive charges induces negatively charged plate. Okay. Then the resultant electric field acting on this material is equal to E naught minus E dash. Here E naught is the field acted upon by this dielectric materials and the resultant field is nothing but E equal to E naught minus E dash. These are vectors, then we can write bars. E bar is equivalent to E naught bar minus E dash bar. Okay, we know Gauss law in electrostatics. This Gauss law is applied to dielectric materials, then it becomes the electric field intensity for is Q by A epsilon naught. By applying Gauss law to dielectric materials, the electric field intensity is nothing but equal to Q by A epsilon naught. Here E means electric field intensity we know and Q charge on the metal plates and A as area of these plates and epsilon naught means permittivity of the medium. Okay, by substituting these E naught and E dash values from applying Gauss law, therefore the equation becomes equal to E naught value as Q by A epsilon naught and E dash value as dielectric material is placed, then we can write this as Q dash by A epsilon naught. Okay students, next we know already Q by A is nothing but charge per unit area is treated as charge density. Charge density is indicating with the letter sigma. Okay, Q by A is equivalent to sigma and Q dash by A is equivalent to sigma dash. By substituting these terms in above equation, therefore E equal to Q by A term as sigma by epsilon naught and Q dash by A term as minus sigma dash by epsilon naught. We also know charge density by epsilon naught value. Here charge density value as sigma is equivalent to D and sigma dash as equivalent to P. By substituting these terms in above expression, then it becomes equal to D by epsilon naught minus P by epsilon naught. Okay, then the expression becomes E into epsilon naught is equivalent to D minus P. Therefore, P equal to D bar plus epsilon naught E bar. So these are vectors, hence we can write bars. Therefore this P bar equal to D bar plus epsilon naught E bar. This is the relation between these three electric vectors. I hope you are following this relation between three electric vectors. And next For understanding these three electric vectors connecting, we consider a small diagram as here a dielectric slab is placed between these metallic plates of a capacitor. Here the electric lines of D is connected with only free charges. These electric lines for D, electric displacement, are connected with free charges only. And for polarization vector, the electric lines or these lines are considered for only dielectric material. And for electric intensity, the lines are starting from electric charges one end and closing with this. I hope you are following the diagram, the three electric vectors relation. Thank you.